Okay, so very quickly, let's talk about SmackDown because the main thing we want to talk about is Punk Roman Seth, right? Obviously, we're building
Yep.
towards WrestleMania, but on that build to WrestleMania, we did see more Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Poor Drew,
Yep.
we've talked so much about how like he deserves his flowers. He got his flowers, but it was the pandemic, so it was to a crowd of zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he has a date with Damian Priest at WrestleMania. There was the beatdown. I
Mm-hmm.
thought Damian Priest did a great job of. He looked like he in shock. Yeah, did you see
Yeah.
his face?
Yeah, he did. It was actually kind of enjoyable
Yeah,
segment actually. They are stuck in the what is or not, bro. It's the AJ Styles versus LA Knight spot from last year, which
yes,
is two guys who are over but like not doing anything, not factoring into the championship storylines. But we
yeah,
still need to have him on TV or have them
yeah.
on TV. That's what they're
I
doing.
mean, to their credit, I think they'll do the best that they can.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, lah. Yeah, you're right. It feels like a B tier feud, C plus tier feud. It's just gonna be there
Yeah.
to fill a spot.
Honestly, I didn't like the fact that Drew McIntyre was moved to SmackDown because the
Mm.
SmackDown championship picture is too
So
overloaded, right?
yes,
Like
yes.
even if like John Cena or Cody Rhodes, one of them holds the title and that feud is over,
Mm.
like I don't think Drew McIntyre is next in line. There's so many other people kind of stuck there. Even Randy Orton, you have one over there. But if he was still on Raw,
Mm.
like you just need to beat Jey Uso, and he's done it multiple
Yeah,
times.
exactly. Right.
And he versus Gunther for the title would have been so amazing. So
Yeah.
I just felt like it was the wrong move to move him to SmackDown, and that's the reason why he feels like he's lost in the shuffle. If
Yeah.
you separated Damian Priest go to SmackDown, I think it's okay because he can be
He,
built up working for all these other stars.
yeah, and he needed to get away from the Judgment Day, lah, because there's always going to be that connection, right? So, okay, you
Correct.
got that, and then you also got. It's like this SmackDown, they announced 3 matches for crying out loud.
Yep.
You got the KO Randy Orton match.
Yep.
Again, another side quest. You got to fill the card out, right? And
Yep.
this one justified because of their history and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Their
Yeah.
interaction. Talk to me about that.
Randy Orton first of all coming out to open the
Wow.
show on SmackDown, amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Randy has reached this level of just so beloved by fans all over the world. People are
Yep.
singing his theme song. People are giving him his flowers for being so much as bringing such longevity to his career. And the thing is, right now we are teasing '09 Randy Orton, right?
Mm.
They are talking about him hearing his voices again. And it's so interesting that Kevin Owens, who has been violent and vindictive this last couple of months with Cody and doing all this crazy stuff, right, shows a bit of fear that
Mm.
Randy is gonna bring out that side of him. I like
Yeah.
that wrinkle in the storyline. What do you think about that?
Yes, and let me add to that something that they're doing that's pretty. I think it's on purpose. We haven't
Mm.
seen the pun kick yet. It's
Yes,
only been teased.
correct.
Whereas previously in his initial pun kicking phase, right, it was like almost every other week he was pun kicking somebody's head.
Yeah, but every time somebody got punched in the head, they died. Like they
Yeah, they would
disappear from
like
TV.
disappear, right? It would
Yeah.
be like it was Vince, it was Mick, it was don't know who lah, but they would
Yeah.
they would just disappear, right? But now they're
Correct.
doing the opposite. They're teasing it. They're teasing it. They're teasing they're teasing the high spot. Wow, what a thought, what a concept, right?
I love it. I love it. And the fact that Kevin Owens already delivered his high spot to Randy, which is the pile driver, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost as if again justified for him to
Yeah.
bring it back, right?
Yes.
And I love the approach that they went with this, where Kevin Owens basically trying to backpedal and like,
Yeah.
hey, sorry, lah, Randy.
Hey, we tag team ah, we tag team ah.
Yeah, like, I'll be friends again. But only if you apologize for siding with Cody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
still had
It's-
to be a dick about it.
Yeah, it's very KO lah. So everyone, like, I mean, to talk about shades of grey and characters, right? Everyone is sort of, especially in this main event scene or upper mid card scene, they know their characters very well, and
Yeah.
they're not going to do something that's completely out of sync with their character.
Correct. They are playing in the sandbox where everyone is very clear of what is their justifications, their motivations, and it's just like people who are fully formed, fleshed out characters just interacting with each other. I think that's why it
Yes.
works.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's why these like you talk about the heel face dynamic, right? And as we'll see a little bit later on, it's compelling, and it's again that they are not just babyface or heel. Now they are characters that we can either agree with, disagree with, and you'll cheer. But some people probably cheering KO. Some
Yeah.
people saying, yeah, KO is right.
Yeah, there are t-shirts out there saying KO
Yeah.
is right. You know,
Yeah, either way, you can sell something. You can sell something already. They're happy only. You make money
correct,
only, right? So,
correct.
uh, let's talk about the other feud that they tried to push forward, and this is the one I kind of dislike. This is the opposite of
Mm,
Cena, Cody, right?
I know
Remember,
what
I
you're talking
said
about. Yeah.
Cena was back. He let Cody have his moment, even though we know Cena could have buried Cody on the mic. He let him have his moment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
who?
This girl did not let the other person breathe.
Oh my god! Like I don't know why they did, and maybe are they trying to lean into her as a bully? You're talking about Charlotte and Tiffy, right? They did
Correct.
the split screen interview thing. Okay, cool. I don't know why they couldn't have met in the ring, whatever. But
Uh,
it felt uncomfortably
awkward.
like awkward. Yeah,
Did,
because it felt
if
like
mm,
Charlotte didn't want to let Tiffy talk.
it felt like either they went off script
Mm,
and did not get back to it,
yep,
or they purposely were ignoring the script and then they just went full
yep.
on. It was that, remember that time when I think Becky Lynch and Charlotte had this issue in terms of exchanging the titles, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
kind of like,
He's
you
throwing on the
can tell
floor.
you can tell clearly that they were saying some very personal shots at each other, which
Mm.
might not have been pre-planned. Like
Okay, do we give WWE benefit of the doubt and say that they are leaning into Charlotte's character being this arrogant bully who will not play ball?
But the problem is Tiffany was trying to heal it up as well. So she came across as quote pun non intended, but Tiffany came across as whiny as Cena was in this promo. So
Yeah.
isn't she supposed to be the one that we're supporting?
So here's the problem. Tiffy is not a great promo, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tiffy is a vibe. She's the cool thing. She's the cool thing in the moment. But when you put her in a promo, back and forth type promo, you can tell she's struggling. She's
She got she
struggling.
she got exposed in this
Yeah.
promo.
Oh, in a big way. Charlotte is just being cocky, arrogant, and holding her own and gave
Mm.
nothing. And it was almost as if Tiffy was thrown into fire, trial by fire. See if you can
Bro,
handle. Ah,
you wanna know? I just thought of something.
hmm.
Was this Tiffy's Cena Roman Reigns 2017 promo moment?
I was about to say it was like Cena Austin Theory,
Cena Austin Theory, John
Cena
Cena
Roman
Roman
Reigns,
Reigns.
Cena
Yeah.
AJ Styles. In a way, no, AJ Styles held his own.
No, I just said
Yeah,
I
but yeah, Roman and Austin they kind of drowned in the presence of John Cena at
correct.
that time.
But that's the thing, right? Even then, when John Cena was doing that, I felt like should he have done that? Should he have like buried the babyface to this point, or was this the company's way of like, you know what? Let's pull this potential girl that we're trying to push to the deep end.
Mm.
Let's expose her a bit so that she can work on it, build her back up. I don't know what
But
they're trying to go to.
yeah, but I thought that she got completely exposed, and it just felt like an awkward promo. It did not build the match for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, Tiffany has always come across very confident, she
Mm.
knows she's great. And actually her post after the show was very telling, by the way.
Her
Um,
post on
yeah,
social media.
she posted on Instagram
Uh,
right after that, which was very telling. She posted a hot photo of herself and she was saying like a snapshot, a reminder that I'm young and hot and beautiful, something like that.
oh no!
Basically, what she's trying to do is like, okay, I just got exposed, I just got buried on the mic. Let me make myself feel better by posting a thirst trap. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's what a young person would do. So okay, if they want to lean into like, okay, she is that Charlotte is the experienced veteran
Mm,
that is purposely trying to expose Tiffany, so Tiffany kind of like realizes it and then wisers up just in time for WrestleMania.
yep.
That's fine. If she showed some vulnerability, but right
Mm.
now it's like this, basically being a Gen Z lah, don't want to admit that she's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Like trying to
yeah.
justify herself. You know what I mean?
Actually, would it have been better if Tiffy just took it and didn't try to, but then everything she says, like it just came off as fluff, right? Like, would it be better if she just took it and just like be
Yeah.
buried to get
Yeah.
sympathy points? Because
Correct.
you're right, the way she handled it didn't make me feel sympathy for her. It just made me like, oh, damn, you got buried. You know?
It's like that co-worker that you all know did something wrong but don't want to admit that they were at fault.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing. We both have already historically supported Tiffany. Thought she's cool, she's badass. in the ring, we are not complaining about her. I mean,
No.
she's been missing a couple of moonsaults lah recently, but like I I think this was her trial by fire moment, and my issue is, was this planned? Like, did
Mm.
Triple H whisper in Charlotte's flair here? Okay, like, let's set her up, make her, or did Charlotte herself was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to test this girl. I want to see whether she can be compared to me.
Or are they trying to make you think that so you boo Charlotte Flair even more?
I mean, if after all that happened, they go backstage, hug each other, oh, that was great, then okay lah. I
Yeah.
consider me swerved and worked. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it did not
It just
justify
no.
the promo. And after I watched that promo, what was my thought, right? I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I think this year the Rumble winner matches should just open the show. They shouldn't close the show.
Oh my God, Jay.
Yes, Jay and Gunther.
Oh
So,
shit.
and talking about buried, Austin Theory getting buried in this match as well on Raw. Yeah, I just feel like, okay, but to be honest, there are bigger things at play at WrestleMania, right? There are
Yeah.
more prominent matches that will get the mainstream's attention. So I know, fine, you want to build up Jay, but Jay is not a big enough star to like pull in the
Mm.
main event. Tiffany and Charlotte, great match on paper, but again, remember what happened with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte from 2 years ago?
Mm.
Completely no build up, completely no hype going into the match. I mean, people like the idea of
Yeah.
eventually Charlotte versus Rhea, but the people forget the TVs leading up to that WrestleMania. People
Mm.
were like, "Wow, this is the worst build to the match ever," but then they deliver it in the
Well,
match.
it was one of the best. Didn't I give it like the best match of the year?
Yeah, it was your favorite match of the year,
Yeah, it was.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, but I don't think Tiffy is at Rhea's level. So
You'll never
I'm not
know.
looking. I wouldn't say I'm not looking forward to this match. My hype level for this match is very low compared to everything else. Which, to be fair, everything else is at a very high level at this point.
They are trying to get some heat in the feud, right? So like maybe if this was a spark that led to more interest in the feud,
Yeah.
whether it's the right kind of interest, it's still debatable. But now people are talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they are. I think Tiffy needs to work. It needs to evolve her character. Like the ditzy blonde thing, it worked
She
for her a bit. It worked it works as an NXT character. As
it
the
works as
main
a
roster character, it's tough to grow.
yeah, it works as a heel, right?
Mm.
Like she played that Buff Barbie, Paris Hilton vibe. Like it's annoying, but it can be a heel. But then you see somebody like Chelsea Green, who
Mm.
basically came into the main roster as a Karen character, but it has evolved into the Green regime. The
Yeah.
United States, like the title helped evolve her character, right?
Yep.
I feel like Tiffany Stratton, after she won her match,
Mm.
very justified by Charlotte Flair saying via cash in. I
Yeah.
work hard for it via cash in. Yes, it's via cash in.
Yeah.
And if she had kind of pivoted and said, it's now time for me to prove that I belong,
Yeah.
then it would have worked well for character. Maybe her character can be, I'm arrogant, I'm brash, I'm young, but like I do not take shortcuts, or I want to
Mm.
prove myself. I mean, that's the thing. Like she used to take shortcuts as a heel, right? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
she won the title, and then she realized the burden of the title.
Mm.
Okay, I do not. Do I want to be defined by my past as this opportunistic woman, or do I want to build my legacy? Like there's a nuance kind of inner monologue dialogue that she can have with her character, and then somebody like Charlotte Flair can poke holes at that logic and like try to expose her. Hey, you think you want to build a legacy? I've built a legacy. You are
Mm.
not even there yet. And then she shows vulnerability and like
Yeah.
maybe she's doubting herself. Like all these
Yeah.
things can help build her character, bro.
So you're saying she's gotta lose the title at WrestleMania?
I think her losing the title would be the best way to bring her down that humble spiral
Yes.
/ redemption arc
Yeah.
in the future.
That will be the catalyst, hopefully, for character growth. But okay, let's move on to talking about characters. The best
Yep.
three characters.
Yes. Sorry. Before we end this topic, I just want to give one last comparison, bro. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Cena Triple H from 2006 WrestleMania. Do you remember
Context.
this moment?
I can't remember this moment.
WrestleMania 22, where John Cena was supposed to defend the title against Triple H at Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first main event where the crowd openly booed John Cena. And even though Triple H was the clear-cut heel,
Yeah.
he's so respected that when during the press conference, he said, this is going to be a breath of fresh air. It's going to be my easiest title match. And people lean into that, saying that John Cena is way over his head with this match. And I think that started to build up the John Cena character of like, wow, finally people are hating on him, seeing through his bullshit, and that make I think that made people respect Triple H after years of the reign of terror. People hated Triple H.
Yeah, yeah,
So this could be the moment where people finally like acknowledge Charlotte Flair. Yeah, she is great at what she does, even though yeah, she's a heel.
yeah.
Yeah, and can build up Tiffany Stratton going forward.
I I don't know. I honestly, the to me personally, the bloom on Tiffany Stratton is off.
Because
I've,
of this promo or
no,
leading
no,
up
no.
to it
It
already.
has been a while. I've said this before on the podcast. Like the height of her TV time was Elimination Chamber, I
Last
feel.
year.
And then
Last
it's
year.
just gone down and down and down because she hasn't evolved the character. Or they've tried to. This is the problem when you try to make a heel character face because the crowd is cheering for her.
Mm.
So she's
Mm.
lost all edge to me. Lah.
Yeah, she can't change who she was, but she
Mm-hmm.
needs to have more nuance to why she does what she does.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Anyway, she's still very young, so give her time, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's talk about Cena. I mean, not Cena. Punk, Roman, and Seth. Talking about, is this the first time this has happened? By the way, essentially, right? Because Seth has never technically turned full heel. He's still a face. People sing
Yeah.
his song. Roman obviously is a face. Punk obviously is a face. We have three faces at WrestleMania. Have they ever done a match like this? I
I've only had babyface versus babyface, right? But I've
yeah.
not really three very well
Yeah,
supported
like
characters,
when
right?
you talk about triple threat matches, at least one heel. You need at least one heel, right?
Yeah.
But no, in this case, like this is to me fascinating. The fact
Mm.
that you have three baby faces, but each with uh, a bone to pick with one
Mm.
of the others. So we're going back to talking about like characters and blurring the line of face and baby heel. I think baby heel, baby face and heel. I think they've
Baby
done,
metal.
yeah, I think that they've done the perfect job here in putting out a storyline where nobody's the face, nobody's the heel. They're just people who hate each other and want to fight each other now.
If you want to look at the maturity of WWE storytelling
Mm-hmm.
and like their layers, right, to
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, yeah.
I think this is the best story that WWE has right now in terms of
Yes.
how well they built. Like this is a very complex story. Like if you think
Yep.
about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I hate you, you hate me. There's history behind all three
Yes.
people.
Yep.
There is clear motivations why each person hate each other.
Mm.
And they're not even chasing a title picture. There are literally three people who have gotten in the way and screwed with each other's title aspirations and main event aspirations.
Yep.
And how ironic it would be, right, that this match main events night one. What do you think about that?
Oh, wow! No title match main eventing night one. It's happened before. I mean, Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Steve Austin main evented night one of WrestleMania,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So
I
I, you know what?
so
I feel like Punk deserves that.
yeah, I feel so. So that's why I say the irony of it would be, what if the favor that Punk calls is like, let my match main event WrestleMania?
Wow! Again, Paul Heyman got such pull,
I mean, Paul can speak to Paul. Here's my pitch, right?
Mm.
I just feel like there still needs one more stake in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a stipulation match, whether there is some sort of clause, it's like the winner becomes the number one contender. I think that can at least make us feel like, okay, they're not just fighting just because for the vibes and because they hate each other.
For the vibes.
Yeah, if for example, like, they say that this is a number one contenders triple threat match, winner gets a future title shot down the line.
Yeah.
People will like, oh, you know what? Okay, now let that match main event WrestleMania. Then there is some context to it. There could be foreshadowing backstage. On night one, like maybe CM Punk runs into Cody Rhodes, like, hey, I'm gonna win my match, and we're gonna meet each other down the road. Or Roman Reigns can run into The Rock and like, you know what I mean? I feel like that story would just take this to the next level.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. For this to be the main event, you would have to throw in some kind of wrinkle as opposed to just it being a blood feud. But then again, to be honest, even if they just said, okay, this is going to be the main event of night one, I wouldn't mind it because at the end of the
But
day, right? Yeah, we
star
have
power alone.
yeah, star power, proper. It's not just star power too, right? It's like they have a reason to hate each other. and
Correct.
it's long-standing historic reasons.
Yep.
So yeah.
That being said, if I want to being very honest, I thought the segment was a disappointment though.
I realized that the crowd kind of lost steam a little bit. Also,
I just felt like I know they were like, I'm not here to talk, I'm gonna fight, right? But even their fight, right? I would say something that is a bit non-PG, but it's kind of I couldn't unsee it.
okay.
I just kind of felt like the way they fight was kind of sexual.
What the?
No,
How? Wait, what?
the way they were going at each other, right, bro? I was like, get a room, guys. Like, it was not.
Bro,
It
hang
was.
on. Bro, are you one of those guys that watch BJJ? You got no BJJ before, bro. What? What am I even saying?
I
Like
watched JJ and I have not felt any
sexual vibes.
no sexual vibes.
That comment made me think of people who watch MMA and say things like, "Why are they hugging on the floor?" Because they did a lot of that. Like I realized that as well. Like they were like trying to grapple each other, and then they were trying to make the fight look real.
Well, the way they were pulling off each other and trying to get at the other person felt like they were trying to make it very passionate. And I was like,
I
no.
don't. That might be a you thing, bro. I don't know.
It's definitely not a me thing because I saw it online as well.
Okay. I didn't see love, passion. I saw hatred. That's what I saw.
Somebody online switch out Photoshop the ring, swap it with a bed, and it worked. The context.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no. I think some people have been watching like aggressive porn
too much
there.
too much fan fiction of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
No, but okay. That aside, I just felt it did not feel violent. It felt like messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
no, but I get what you're saying because at some point, right, it went on too long. It felt like, one would break away and then another would break away and then I get where they were going with it, but yes, I agree. For some reason, it didn't feel chaotic. It felt messy.
Can I give you a better example of a triple threat pull apart done well?
Okay.
Remember the triple threat pull apart between Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch?
I knew you were going to say that. I exactly knew you were going to say that.
I know, yes. But it's the perfect encapsulation of the point I'm trying to put across. Like, all of them got handcuffed. They were led backstage, and then they continue fighting through cop cars. Yes. I'm not saying that you need to go to that level, but it would be really cool saying like the Italian police is here to pull them apart and they fight.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's hilarious. Yeah.
To me, okay, maybe it's a me thing also. I was like, hey, that's Hurricane Helms. Hey, that's Jamie Noble. I was spotting the agents, bro.
You name calling the agents, bro. Like just something about the whole execution of this particular pull apart just did not sit right with me. It doesn't temper my hype for the match itself. Like them, each one of them pointing at the WrestleMania signs. Felt very performative, by the way, but
yes, so that I had a problem with. You had CM Punk do it, then you had Seth Rollins. If only one of them did it, I think it would be great. Or if they could have angled it in such a way where you saw all three of them and then the WrestleMania sign in the background, then yes, I like that idea. But I hated that CM Punk point, then Seth Rollins point, then Roman, like each one had to get their moment pointing at the WrestleMania sign. I feel like, you know what they said at the production meeting? The production guys are, okay, I want each of you at one moment to point at the sign so I can cut all together into one like triple cut frame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Give me that shot, please. Then they're like, okay, so each of them freaking points at the damn sign.
As the editor, I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Yeah. It's like, okay, give me that shot so I can cut it together in one nice, cool, like, wow, all point.
If they took lessons from Triple H and Undertaker from WrestleMania 27, where they came out and didn't even say a word during their promo, they just look at each other and both of them at the same time turn and look out at WrestleMania side.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough. So I think so. That's the problem with what they were advertising, because they say that all three is gonna be in this under one roof or in the same ring.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have called out on social media, like, maybe like CM Punk saying like on site, if I'm coming there and I see I'm gonna beat your ass up, then the whole night is just them beating their ass out and then finally ending in the ring.
Right.
I think that would be cooler.
Or what if all three of them were in the ring and they never said a thing? You know, like did they? But I think that's what they're trying to go for. The whole fact of it's boiled, it's boiled to that. It's at that boiling point where they can't help but fight each other.
Yeah, I mean it's months in the making, so I think that's fair. But you know what? I did like Roman Reigns' justification though, because I think Roman Reigns said something along the lines of CM Punk screwed with me, that's why I took him out, right? Seth Rollins screwed with me, that's why I tried to kill him.
He said, Seth Rollins tried to kill me. I'm like, wow, this is the first time I'm hearing them use the words kills, yeah?
Yeah, the K word felt strong.
What? Okay.
Yeah. But did CM Punk did tease the favor again?
Yeah.
So I do not know.
Can we talk about Paul Heyman again? MVP in terms of his facial reactions. You know when Seth was doing his promo against Roman, right?
Yeah.
I could not help but look away from Paul Heyman's face. He had this like look of dislike. How dare you say this about my tribal chief? Like go back and watch his facials. They were perfect. He had this like scowl, like how dare you? Oh my god. Give this man a goddamn Emmy.
Bro, practicing the mirror, man, for sure.
Yeah, like, and then when CM Punk pointed at Paul and brought up the favor, Paul was like, not now. like the flustered look. I'm like, well, hey, bro, give this man some sort of an award for acting, yeah.
I think he helps to get the fans to react the way that WWE wants them to react. Like, you should be feeling annoyed as well. You should be feeling flustered, right?
No, he's playing the role of the wise man, lackey, manager, whatever you want to call it, perfectly. Because Roman cannot react like that. Roman is, he has to be like, no, sell it, because he's a tough guy, right? He has to sell that image. So you need the guy to react, to be the audience proxy, and that's Paul Heyman.
Yeah, exactly. As a brilliant job there. But I think overall, it's maybe there's too many weeks left of WrestleMania, and I feel like it's time for them to go at it already.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they can achieve.
Like to your point, what you just said, it feels like this happened, and then there's still so many weeks to go. Like they could do all their interactions in the upcoming Raws and SmackDowns, which I'm sure they will now hopefully pepper in very lightly. One interaction here, there,
Do you think that with whatever Roman Reigns has achieved in the last 4 years, is this still a good enough position for him to be on the card, or do you still feel like this is too much of a step down away from the title picture and all that?
It's an inevitability. It feels like a step down, right? Because he's been like at that top spot. But then again, he was at that top spot for so long. I mean, you can't expect him to be there again. Then you're not progressing. You're not building up new guys, right? You're not letting Cody have his run. So I think that it's a necessary evil.
It's like he needs to step aside to let other people become main eventers.
Yes, correct. Like, look, Undertaker had a match with Nathan Jones at WrestleMania. Okay, so, what was it? Nathan Jones and Big Show. I forget.
A-Train.
It was a tag match. Yes. Was it a triple threat?
It was a handicap match at first. No, it was a handicap match. He was supposed to tag team with Nathan Jones, but he sucked so bad that it became a handicap match between him against A-Train and Big Show. And then Nathan James appeared in the ring, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Well, my point is, even The Undertaker has had to have shit placement on WrestleMania cards. So, Roman Reigns, and this is not a shit placement. He's in there with freaking Punk and Seth Rollins. So, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
I think Roman Reigns is now the spiritual top guy in the company no matter what. It's like when John Cena is like at the mid card at WrestleMania, but John Cena is still the number one guy. He can go back to the title picture anytime. That's where he is. And I don't hate it. But again, like what I said earlier, I think this match should main event night one. Like over all the Rumble winner matches.